Good afternoon and welcome to this edition of Rollin' Sports where you meet the athletes. We're coming to you from Greenup County High School with Coach Paul Miller of the Greenup County Lady Musketeers. They had a record of 18-10 last year and are a member of the 63rd District, where they are also seeking to make the regional tournament for the first time since 2018. And Coach Miller, it's good to be with you here. First off, Greenup County sports this year. You have the football team tomorrow night playing for their first regional championship in a long time. It's the first time they've been in that game since '07. You have the volleyball team that won their section of the 2A tournament, had the opportunity to play in state, and had a couple of other titles they won. Talk about of course, the golf team, and talk about the success of Greenup this year and how it's felt to be a part of the program.
Yeah, it has. I mean, when you look at Greenup and what I remember back whenever I was coming through school, you had the Mike Scotts of the world, and of course they made it to region back in those days. But you talk about football and what they're doing this year. I think Zach's done a great job. I mean, he's brought those kids in, worked them completely hard the whole year throughout, and it shows. I mean, you can see how hard they're playing. I actually got a chance to watch them against Lawrence County, which I'm from, so it was kind of one of those games that, who do you root for? But I'm glad they got the chance to play on, and it's going to be good.
Mm-hmm. And first off, talk about too with the team. Talk about your assistant coaches and the staff you have this year.
Yeah, I have pretty much the same crew. I have Chelsea with me that's been with me since I've been here. Paige as well, and I have Casey, and then my newcomer is Maggie Miller. Maggie played here, and so we're lucky to have Maggie around. But that's my crew. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And talk about the team. I'm sure it's no secret what your goal is going to be this year.
Yeah, without saying a lot, I mean, you always try to stay quiet. You want to go into the radar, but, we've got big goals. And there's no secret that we want to get to Moorhead, and that's the main goal. I told the kids when I first came here, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of work year-round, and a lot of stuff goes into that. But I really feel like that they're pushing that, and we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. And talk about the team you have coming back. You've been through a couple scrimmages now, and seem to have a lot of positive results there. You've really been challenging them, and of course with a couple key players back like Bush, Maynard, and a few others, looks like there's good reason to be optimistic about this group.
There he is. Bush and Maynard's been with me now for 3 years, and they're seniors, and I tell them all the time that it's not going to be easy to let those guys go because of what they are. Not only are they good players, they're just super talented kids and good kids inside. So outside of that, we have a very strong chemistry when it comes to chemistry. And I think that's one of the main things that when I came here, I made them understand. First, you got to love your player that's next with you, that's out there on the court with you. But more importantly, you have to play together in order to do big things. And I think we're doing that. I think we definitely are.
Mm-hmm. And talk about your leadership style. A lot of people were very optimistic about you from day one that you've been here, and you could tell that your players really buy into your system and what you're seeking to do.
It starts with, as I said, they have to know that you got their back. And I think when I came here and I laid out the plan of what we had to do to get to where we needed to be, that they bought in, and it shows. They know that what it takes. They know how hard they have to work, and they're willing to put in the time and do the things they have to do to get there. It can be done, and I think they're starting to understand that.
Mm-hmm. And talk about the summer, because a lot of people, like with basketball, it used to be you show up October 15th, and then it goes through February or March, and things have changed so much over the years with AAU and some of the additions. But I know you do a lot of work. You play some games over the summer, and talk about what you do in the off season to train.
The big thing with summer, as you talked about, I came from an AAU standpoint. That's kind of where I cut my teeth. So I know what it takes to be a good player, and right or wrong, if you're not willing to put in the time and year-round, I mean, it's a year-round thing that you're just going to be an average player. You have to put in time. But some of the things we did, of course, we played 30 games in the summer, and we went around and played 3 different camps, and we played big talent. I mean, Sacred Heart, people like that. So we played some very talented teams, and I tried to expose them to that. I don't, shy away from that kind of talent, because I think once you push them to that level and show them what it looks like, then it's not so shocking to them when they get out here. Just recently, we got a chance to play a couple of scrimmage games against Fairland, and I don't know if you know a lot about Fairland, but Fairland, Ohio is supposed to be #1, Division III, and they're like 11 deep. I mean, they're just a fabulous team. So it was a great opportunity for us to go over there and see where we're at, and we competed, and I was very tickled with it.
Mm-hmm. And talk about a little bit about yourself, some for the fan base to get to know you better. What's maybe a hobby or something family related, something, a cool fact that you'd like to share?
You know, my wife's actually taping me right now, but you know, my family's very involved with this program. First and foremost, it's all about my family. I've got my little girl here that comes to practice with me, and she does practice with us. And then I have 2 other daughters that are twins that are very involved in the program. So I'm lucky to have them, and we actually do everything we can to help this program.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and one thing, it's pretty tough to think for Jada to come up and not to think about the shot that she had against Boyd County a couple years ago. How did that feel when she played that game? They were down 8 with around a minute to go. When I can't help but ask, how did it feel to you when she hit that?
You know, I still remember it like it was yesterday. I remember where I was sitting in that front row, and I caught myself jumping out and going on the court and celebrating. I think I grabbed her and grabbed the ball, and it was just one of those things that you just get to experience and to be there and see it. It was a big shot. And we actually have a framed picture at home with her shooting that shot. It's really neat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and lastly, Coach, are there any shout-outs you'd like to give?
You know, just my assistants, like I talk about. You know, we work hard. I work hard, but they don't get a chance to be noticed a lot. But they're in here with me every day, and I'm going to shout out to all those girls that help me and just, you know, what they do for our program.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, Coach, thank you so much for being on. And Coach Paul Miller of the Greenup County Lady Musketeers, be sure to catch him and his team this year. Definitely try to come up and watch him, but if not, be sure to catch him on My Town TV. And we thank you all for tuning in today, and we will see you soon here on Rollin' Sports, where you meet the athletes.